Hello people, and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Okay guys, I got a post here that I wanted to share because although I'm not necessarily talking about the price figure here, like I want to talk about the sentiment of this because, you know, we're in a bull run right now, and I think this is like an important lesson to be teaching right now. So we've got here Stoic Barbarian, and he says, when HBAR is $10, will you care that you brought in at 20 cents or 30 cents? Load up now, hold. Okay, so like I say, I'm not necessarily talking about the whole $10 price thing because who knows like how long that could take to come. And I'll just be honest with you now, I don't think that's going to happen in this bull run. I don't think that's coming for this bull run at all, in my opinion. But I'm talking about the general sentiment. And this is something that I see happen with a lot of investors, especially like people who are new getting into crypto and stuff like that. They're always looking for the perfect price point, right? And the thing for me that I'll say is like, unless you're really following like analysts and, you know, you really understand the market, it's generally a bad idea. And even if you follow analysts, it's still a bad idea, if I'll be honest with you, because you are not going to know if, you know, which analyst is right. Because look, I'll be honest with you, I follow a lot of analysts and, you know, I see different price predictions for coins. I see some be bullish where some will be bearish. Some will say there's a dip coming. Some will say it's just about to carry on and go for its next leg up. You know, there's varying opinions. And my point being is, obviously someone's going to be wrong and you're not going to be sure who. And so the thing that I'm trying to get at here is, look, let's just say you're someone who, you know, you're just thinking about investing in HBAR right now because it's been doing well during the bull run and whatnot. So you're interested. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I'm just saying that if you're waiting for like the perfect price point, that's when you could potentially get priced out, right? Because let's just say, for example, let's say, like, for example, the price was, I'm just going with hypotheticals here because I haven't checked the price recently. So let's just say it was like 25 cents, just for argument's sake, hypothetically, right? And you're thinking, oh man, I'd love it to get to 20 cents or I could buy it at 20 cents, you know? So you're just here waiting for that 20 cents. Let's say it gets down to like 23 cents and you're like, oh wow, like, yeah, it's dropping down. Okay. Only a couple more cents to go. Like, let's see if we can do it. A few more cents. And let's say it drops to, let's just say it drops to 22 cents. And you're like, oh yeah, almost there. But what happens if it just then shoots up and it's then gone to like 60 cents? Do you see what I'm saying? And so, like, the thing that I'm trying to say to you guys here is like, the thing with the market is, you know, this is something that I learned very early on with investing. And I think it's very true. You'll never buy the bottom and you'll never sell the top. Now, that's not to say that is literally true. You could be very lucky and happen to buy at the bottom or sell at the top. But the point of it being is that it's pot luck. It is. Like, even if you're a trader, right, you've got to understand, traders don't make every call right. Same with analysts. Like, I've seen analysts who've made some great calls in the past and they've been wrong. It's not like they're right every single time, 100%. They're not. And so, the point being is that you could sit here trying to read charts or trying to watch analysts and things like that, but you've got to understand these are just opinions and predictions. Like, nothing is guaranteed. And so my thing is this, like, just from an investor mentality, if I'm looking at a cryptocurrency and I want to get in, I have to make a decision, right? I just have to make a decision. And if I'm not happy with the price, I have to be prepared to say, okay, I'm prepared to wait, but if it's very possible that I might just miss out on this crypto. I've actually had it happen. There was a crypto that I was really interested in and I really wanted to get into it, but it had a recent run up. So I was like, I don't want to buy an agreed candle, right? So I was like, let me just see if it retraces a bit. And if it does, I'll buy in. And it didn't. It literally just carried on going. And so I was just like, at this point, it's gone up way too much for me to want to buy in anymore. So I just had to take the loss. Now, I could have just brought in when I did, because it did still go up quite a bit. But for me, when you're buying in on a green candle, you don't know if that's the top, right? You don't know if you're buying in at a local top. So it could be that you buy in and then it drops dramatically from there. And this is the point that I'm making. I didn't know, but this is why I had to come to terms with, I'm either going to buy in now and just accept it, and if it drops down more, then okay, cool. Or I accept that I'm willing to wait to see if it'll drop more, but if it doesn't, I take the loss of the opportunity. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm trying to make you guys understand, because trying to wait for price points and thinking that, oh, I'll wait for this price, you don't know if it's going to hit that price, right? You just don't know. And so you could be sitting here waiting for that perfect price point for you to buy in. And this is another thing, right? This is where like the market psychology kicks in, right? Because, for example, let's say it does hit that price, right? And I've seen an example of this. Someone was talking about it very recently. Let's say you say, okay, let's just say, go back to what we just said. It was 25 cents and you waited for it to go to like 20 cents. Let's just say it went to 20 cents. You know what could happen from there? Or what if it could go a bit lower? Or you could be like, oh, why is it dropped down to 20 cents though? Is that it? Like, is it over? Is something bad happening? Maybe I shouldn't invest. And again, once again, your mentality has stopped you anyway. So even if you've got that price point, you still have to have that conviction of, I will 100% buy in if it reaches that price point, and I won't be scared to buy in, or I'm not going to let anything, deflect from me not taking that opportunity at that stage. So you've just got to understand with this stuff, like, I do generally agree in the sense of like, look, at the moment, I get it. You want to get the best prices you possibly can because you want to make the most money. I 100% understand that. That's how every investor looks at it. But when like HBAR does significantly, go up, you have got to understand that like it's not going to be as big of a deal, right? Like if you got it at 5 cents more, if HBAR goes up to like $1, $2 or something like that, in the grand scheme of things, that 5 cents difference, it's not going to be as big of a deal to you because you're massively up, right? Do you know what I mean? So yes, when it's all said and done, right now it feels like a lot because, you do want to try and get as much as you can. And don't get me wrong, even if it does get to that kind of price point, you'll always wish you got in at the cheapest, but you'll always feel that way, right? Like that's just the whole thing of the market. You just want to make as much money as possible. So I'm not saying that that's ever going to change, but what I'm saying is that if you brought HBAR at like, 25 cents to 20 cents and it goes up to, let's say, $1 or $2, the difference of that, you're not going to be thinking about it so much. You will think, oh yeah, I could have made a bit more money, but at the end of the day, you've still made a massive profit. So you're just not going to worry about it that much. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not going to be that big of a deal. The real issue here is like, let's say, you brought HBAR at, let's just say, 60 cents and then it dropped down to like 20 cents. That's a huge drop. I can understand at that point why you might be a bit like, I'm a bit gutted about that because that's a huge drop. But even then, the thing that you have got to understand is that you can't tell the future, right? Like if you brought in at 60 cents hypothetically and then it dropped, you didn't know that was going to happen. So even though it is frustrating and you are human, so I'm not saying that you're wrong for thinking that, you've just got to understand that like, hey, how was I to even know that though? Like I've not done it thinking, like this was going to happen. I didn't know. So as much as it will be frustrating, I get it. You've still got to understand that like I said, you'll never buy the bottom and you'll never sell the top. So you just didn't know that was going to happen. So while it might be frustrating at that time, at the end of the day, you did what you thought was right at that time. And that's why when it comes to investing, you've got to have conviction. You've just got to stand on your conviction, right? Like if you buy something and it drops dramatically, you've got to accept that. Like I say, with me, with that cryptocurrency I wanted to get into, once it had gone up, although like I'm a bit, I could have got in, I've just accepted it because I wasn't willing to pay at that price because I didn't know where it was going to go. So I just thought, hey, cool. So as much as I'd have liked to have, got in because it has gone up a bit more since then as well, I've just accepted it. It's like, hey, easy come, easy go. I look for the next opportunity. Because how was I to know it was going to go up, right? I didn't know that. I thought it had already had quite a run, so I thought it was going to have a retrace. That's quite a natural thing that happens after a big pump. So, that's just the way I operate. And I think you guys should be thinking like that too. But look, I'm not here to tell you what to do. This is just general investment advice. That's all. You know, whatever you guys want to do is your choice. I don't know your situation, your scenario. So please understand, I'm not telling you guys what to do. But for general investing, this is like the mindset that we have, because, you know, we understand that you're not going to get everything right. You're just not. So, you know, this is why I say it's not about timing the market. It's about time in the market, right? You don't try and time the best opportunity, because you're never going to be able to do that. So you just try and get in and just, you know, dollar cost average, that kind of thing, you know. So that's just the general sentiment that I'm trying to share here. But yeah, I thought this was a good teachable moment, and I hope this is something that you've learned from this. But I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching this. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And hit that bell. Take care.